The story of Cinderella. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived a rich red-eyed gentleman and his beautiful daughter, Cinderella. Cinderella's father was kind and loving. He married for a second time so that his daughter had a mother to care for her. Cinderella's stepmother had two mean and ugly daughters called Anastasia and Zella. When Cinderella's father died, her stepmother stopped pretending to like her. She was jealous of Cinderella's charm and beauty, so they forced the young girl to become a servant in her own house. Cinderella was given a tiny bedroom in the attic. Her only friends were the birds and mice. They listened to as she sang about her dreams of a life filled with happiness. One morning, Cinderella found a tubby little mouse caught in a trap. "We'll call you Gus," she said. Then she gently set him free and put him with the other mice. For safety, don't forget to warn him about Lickfur. Cinderella reminded them, and off she went to begin the day's chores. Lickfur was her stepmother's cat. He was sly and lazy, and all the animals hated him, especially Bruno the dog. After Cinderella had given Lickfur his milk, she walked out into the yard. "Breakfast time," she called, scattering corn for the chickens. The mice came running for some breakfast too, but Lickfur was blocking the way to the corn. One of the mice, Jack, crept bravely up to Lickfur and kicked him. There was a loud splash. This made Lickfur very angry. When he saw Gus busily gathering up some of the corn, he pounced on him. Luckily, Gus managed to escape to the kitchen. He scampered up into a tabletop where he rested against a teacup. Suddenly, the teacup flipped over, trapping Gus underneath. Just then, a voice shrieked from upstairs, "Cinderella, I'm coming." Cinderella sighed. She picked up the breakfast trays and made her way upstairs. Under the teacup, Gus was safe at last. Not far away in the royal palace, the king and Grand Duke were talking about the prince. "It's time he married," grumbled the king. Suddenly he had an idea. "We'll have a ball tonight," he cried, "and invite every young maiden in the kingdom. The prince will surely fall in love with one of them." So invitations were sent out that very day. When the royal messenger delivered the invitation to Cinderella's house, Cinderella went to find her stepmother. She was upstairs in the music room listening to Anastasia and Zella sing, "There's going to be a ball at the palace," exclaimed the stepmother as she read the invitation. "Every young maiden is to attend." "Why, that means I can go too," said Cinderella. Hopefully, Anastasia and Giselle shrieked with laughter at the idea, but Cinderella was determined. "Well, why not?" she asked. Her stepmother thought for a moment, then hastily looked across her face. "I see no reason why you can't go if you get all your work done." "I'm sure I can," cried Cinderella, rushing upstairs to find something to wear. Cinderella opened her wardrobe and took out one of her mother's old gowns. "It's a little old-fashioned, but I'll fix that," she said. "Cinderella," shrieked her stepmother. "I'm coming," Cinderella sighed. The mice knew that poor Cinderella would never have time to finish the dress, so they decided to work on it themselves. They sang merrily as they cut and sewed the material. At last, the pretty dress was finished. It was trimmed with an old sash and beads which Anastasia and Gisela had thrown away. How? Later that evening, Cinderella sadly returned to her attic room. She had been so busy that she hadn't had time to get ready. Out of the window, she watched a carriage arrive to take her stepmother and stepsister to the ball. As Cinderella turned away, she suddenly saw the dress. "Surprise!" her friends cried. "Oh, it's wonderful!" Cinderella exclaimed, hardly able to believe her eyes. In no time at all, she had slipped the dress on and was rushing downstairs to the carriage. But Anastasia and Zella saw their stepsister looking so beautiful. They were filled with jealousy. "Why, you little thief!" Gisela screamed, spotting her old beads around Cinderella's neck. Then Anastasia looked at the sash. "That's mine!" she cried, grabbing the sash and ripping Cinderella's dress. "Please stop!" cried Cinderella, but it was too late. Her dress was ruined. She ran into the garden and flung herself down by a bench. She sobbed as if her heart would break. Cinderella was so upset that at first she didn't see a magical swirl of light gather around her. When she looked up, an old lady was sitting on the bench.